everybody, welcome to my channel, Ashley's Treasure, and today I need to make my Christmas cards. I gotta pre-start. I gotta make around 35 of them, so I just made, I just used my, what was it, like about 65-pound cardstock. Normally I use the 110, but I use this one instead because all you have to do is the normal standard, what is it, 8.5 by 11, just cut it in half. And it makes a perfect, this is my favorite size. It's like, was it 4.25 by 5.5, because 2 pieces makes it 8.5 by 11, you know, so I just cut it this way and fold them in half, and you know, I can do them this way or this way, but I got them all cut up and I got them all scored, ready to go. I digged through, I can make these, but I'm trying to save time. I have a bag full of envelopes that I got from a thrift store for $1.99, and so I grabbed, what is it, like, I think I grabbed like 35 of them. There's a couple different ones. There's like these ones and some stuff, triangular ones. So all of them got in envelopes. I'm ready to go. The paper that I'm going to focus on is this one, this Vintage Christmas from Hobby Lobby. Yeah, Hobby Lobby. And I remember I got it 50% off. It was in one of my hauls. I'll try to look back and put that in the description box if I can find that haul. And I love the Santa. I always get that sheet so I can fussy cut them out, but they had the pre-cut dies already of it. So I'm just going to do a little flip through again. And this is perfect. This is like the same, what is it, 8.5 by 11? Yeah. This is the same size, and I love this vintage look to it, the dark greens and the red, and then it's got, you know, that creamy color, and then that woodland feel, you know, with the pine cones and everything. This is the only page I'm not huge over. I don't know what to do with those. Like, they are cute, but I don't know what to do with that, printers and stuff. But yeah, I really, really love these. I love these, but I wish they weren't overlapping so I could cut them out individually, because that'd be perfect. But yeah, I love these. See that creamy colors I got? You can see compared to the white. And they're one-sided, and they're about 65 pounds. I feel like 65 pounds, the same as my cardstock. They're thicker than printer paper, you know. Gosh, these are so great. And there's the Santas. I normally get 12 by 12 sheets of that. But yeah, I love this. This is my favorite. And I think you get like 3 of each. 15 designs, 4 of each. Okay, so that's going to be that. And then I did get some of this. Sorry about the crinkles. I was going to get, because they had, this is from Michaels, and they have 4 colors. It's got gold, cream, silver, and white. And it's that like crinkly paper, and there's 40 sheets, 4 of each, so 10, 20, 30, 40, yeah, 10 of each. And yeah, the crepe paper. They had ones with red and green, and I was going to get that one, but I thought this one was more versatile. And also because of my junk journals, I keep finding things for angels, and I keep going with gold and silver, so that's the other reason. So I thought I could find more use for this than just red and green specifically for Christmas, because I can even add this with this. So I have that in mind. I got a bunch of scraps of gold foil. I have like so much stuff. I got this, oh my gosh, it's heavy, I can't even pick it up. This basket full of stuff to use. You know, I got some old, you know, pieces from Michaels that I can use for like centerpieces and stuff. I got trees, you know. I got the new Tim Holtz that I recently shared. There's some too, you know. I got teeny weeny bells, you know. Yeah, this thing is just packed with it. I got a bunch of possible die cuts I can use. Yeah, there's even this one that has Noel already ready to go. I got some stickers still. I like using these mostly. I like the circle ones because I normally use them in the back of the envelope as like a seal, you know, like little stickers like these. But yeah, there's still a lot of stuff in here. Ooh, and there's Santas in here. Yeah, I tend to use these a lot for in the back. They're perfect. Look at those Santas. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I still got some of them from the last few years. I got some stamps I got that in the last haul too from Michaels. I think it was like was it Joann's. They had Tim Holtz stuff off for 50% off, and I got this too for like sayings I can put on the title. There's green, there's red, you know, and some little sayings. So I thought I could say Merry Christmas in the front. Yeah, I got a bunch of dies and stamps, letters, you know. I got some doilies I thought I could use, stamps, Merry Christmas stamps. I have an idea for this 1-inch square punch. Got some bias tape and some Rick Rack, baby Rick Rack. I do have some like Christmas tags that I thought I could use as like front of them. I got, oops, sorry. Stickers. I loved this Merry Christmas die cut I got from Michaels. Was it last year? I think it was last year because I used it a lot. It's like the perfect size. And I still got some stickers left. Like, I got so much stuff. I got like my standard infinity circle, oval, and square. And then I got a couple that has some, you know, nice, you know, design to them. This one has all unique ones, you know. It has a stitch look. This one's really good for that. I don't know if I'm going to do stencil. I'm kind of trying to do this more simple, less mixed media. I do have these block dies that I got from a thrift store. This one has like a nice design I thought I could use on the edge of a card. You know, there's a snowflake. This one's supposed to be like a poinsettia. And then this one's like some holly or berries. And like, these were all Tim Holtz ones too that I found at a thrift store for like $2 a piece. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm starting right now. I got the basics. You know, I do have this corner punch too. I'll mostly be using my double-sided tape with my ATG gun. If you don't know what ATG stands for, adhesive tape gun is normally what they refer it as. I got my art glitter glue that I love. What else do I got? I also have this paper that has wood grain in it. You know, that always helps on cards too for details. This is my favorite. I think I pretty much used all that, but I do have this lighter one, white, you know, black and gray. You never know. It always comes in handy just in case. That paper is super thick though. That's like a 110-pound cardstock I got from Hobby Lobby. Sorry about the crinkle. The rest is in like a plastic shopping bag. But I also got these that I thought I could use because the paper has those Christmas lights, and I thought I could put some of those over. Here are the die cuts of that Santa, so now I don't have to fussy cut them out. I'm so happy. And they're only $2.99. I got that half price, and isn't there like 20? Yeah, there's 20 in there. Cheesecloth, that always comes in handy. You never know, some texture. I love this tissue paper because it has like that newspaper, so it has some of that vintage look to it. Here's some Christmas colored bells. I do have these. I'm trying to find them all. There's like 3 of them. Yeah, I got these from Michaels and I never use them because these ones got, you know, Christmas light sequence. So I thought instead of using these dimensional ones, you know, I could use these ones. And there's some sweet little snowflakes. And then these ones I could make hollies with. I got some ribbon because it has this nice green and red, which actually I think I'm just going to take them out. These ones were... Was it Joann's or Hobby Lobby had these on sale because they're originally like $10.99 or something like that, and I got them for like $2.99 or something. It was a really good deal, but I thought those were perfect colors right there. Here's some ribbon. You know, I thought I could use some like strips of these. What else do I got? Yeah, I really like this dark green and stuff. We got those for like cheap, like change. We got it for change. It was like 90% off. We got it for like 49 cents or something. Here's some red fabric. I thought maybe I could use some of this for Christmas for some texture. And then they are dimensional because they're buttons, but they're snowflake buttons. So I thought that would be cute too. I still got some spare like centerpieces, you know, die cuts or whatever from, that's Recollection. So that's from Michaels from last year. I remember getting. I got this really nice washi tape. I love this plaid. It's got like poinsettias and then this gold strip. And then here's some gold tissue paper. I got for $3 from Michael's. And then I do have these tags, these to and from Christmas tags, and I wouldn't mind using those as like a centerpiece onto the cards, like winter wishes, and you know, so those will come in handy, I thought, too. So that's what I got in hand right now. So I got so much stuff to work off from. Where this is going to go, I have no idea. We'll just see as it goes. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be doing a voiceover and speeding up as fast as I can because this seems like it's going to be a very long video. I might have to break it into a couple different videos, like part 1, part 2, part 3, who knows. So hold tight, get something to drink, some popcorn, snacks, whatever, and hope you enjoy. Talk to you later. Okay, so I'm going to start off with these tags. I actually like it without the foam stickers. So I actually took one off already. I took the foam out and just used my ATG gun and then a little bit of glue around the outside to glue it back on so it has a gold foil outline. And so I am just going to use one of my cards and then I'm going to have like an 1/8 of an inch border, some gold foil. And then same thing with some scrapbook paper. I was going to try this green because it's got the same greens in this. And so have the same gold, you know, foil outline just like this will. And then I'm going to place this in the center. And then I used my Merry Christmas die cut that I got, my little tiny one from Michael's that I absolutely love. And then I just put that on some scrap pieces of white cardstock and then scrap pieces of foil. I did not measure it. I just used what I had. And then I am just going to place that right on there. And look how cute that is. And then I was debating between this cardstock and then this lighter one, the ones with all the stamps and everything. And I end up liking that more. So I am going to use that instead. Some of them have like a tad bit of, you know, the light red stamps on there, which I do like that little hint of red. But overall, this will be like this, and then the Christmas tree in the center. And then this right here, like look how great that looks. Simple and easy, and it's got a little orange rhinestone on there, so that's going to look really cute. That was already on there, so like look how easy that is, having a to and from tag and making it as the main focus point on a card. Love it. The way I had in mind was doing, if the trees are too tall, but if they were a little bit smaller, it'd be cute having it this way, or if my card was bigger, and you know, having it kind of like that. I thought that would be really nice too, but of course this will stick out on my card, so it's too big, so I'm going to have it centered this way. But that's another way of laying them out. So I'm going to glue these all together and show you at the end result how they look. So I'm going to glue down or tape down the gold foil first, which is 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card. And since the card is 5.5 by 4 1/4, the gold foil is 4 by 5 1/4. And I accidentally bent it a little bit, but straightened it out. Just pressing it down. And now I'm going to glue down the scrapbook paper, which, sorry, I keep calling cardstock. I mean scrapbook paper. And that is also 1/4 of an inch smaller, so that is 3 3/4 by 5. And just kind of eyeballing it, trying to line it up just right. I was a little off there, but that's okay. That just proves that it was handmade. And now I'm going to just add some art glitter glue, or ATG gun on that as well. And then I am going to get the art glitter glue and kind of go around the edges because of all the branches of the tree. I want to make sure that those are staying down, and it's hard to do that with the tape. And now just kind of centering it. Those tags worked out so great. And now I'm going to cut, this is actual like thick cardstock. This is just scrap pieces. I'm not measuring, I'm just getting little edges because of the dimension of the tag. I'm doing it on 2 ends of the strip that says Merry Christmas so that they are the same level. So I'm just using 2 little squares on both sides to kind of add some dimensions, because the foam would be too thick. And so just 2 little pieces of cardstock made it even, since the tag has 2 layers. And so now it's more even. And now I can glue it down and it's all lined up now. Perfect. It's so cute. I love those ones. Alright, here's my little helper. She was helping with the ATG gun. But here are all 5 that turned out. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 done, 30 more to go. I actually love how these name or these to and from tags turned out. I like that a lot more without the foam. Like, there's still a lot of dimensions, so I'll still have to pay more for if I use these to ship because of the little orange gem there, rhinestone, and because of this popping out, there's definitely some dimension. I try to keep them as flat as I can, but so shipping doesn't cost so much. But yeah, I'm super happy how these turned out. So simple, quick, and easy, and turned out great. Alright, next is cards 6 and 7. I kind of got it planned out. The gold foil is the same size as the last one, and I'm doing the same measurements. So what is it, 1/4 of an inch smaller, because I like having an 1/8 of an inch border all around. So that's why I do 1/4 of an inch smaller. And so here I'm just taping the gold foil on, and again I got it a little further to the right, which is perfectly fine. It just shows that it's handmade. And now doing the same thing with the scrapbook paper. I'm trying to line that up just right this time. Making sure that I have it the right way, because this one I'm doing horizontal. And then this is kind of what I have in mind. I got a strip of the wood grain paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm using the dark brown. And so it kind of has like a shelf to lay the Merry Christmas saying on. And the brown also matches the pine cones too. That's why I really like that one. And then this is just some thin, I think it's jute. And I'm going to make a bow. And so I wanted double bows. So I just kind of wrapped it around my fingers and did 2 laps. And now just kind of showing how I tying a knot around it. It was a little tricky at first. But yeah, there we go. And now I'm just kind of looping it around, and then I'm going to tie it just like a crisscross. And now I'm just kind of like tightening and making sure it's all even and the length that I want it. I'm going to trim the extra piece off. And I'm going to put a little bit of cheesecloth, just a scrap piece of cheesecloth behind it to add some more texture. I love the texture that cheesecloth gives. It makes a huge difference in all projects. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this because it dries clear, and so it won't be seen, so that the cheesecloth won't come off. And then the Merry Christmas sticker is actually a sticker, and it actually sticks pretty good, but I'm still going to use art glitter glue in the back of it because of being on the cheesecloth, and because I'm going to have that bow that I made behind it, so that's going to add some dimension. So I gotta add some art glitter glue to make sure that it all sticks well together. So I'm just kind of lining up onto that first, and then going to glue them all down together so it's lined up just where I want it to be. I really love how this turned out. And then I kept trying to adjust the bow just right. And one of them, this part, I could not get it to curve the same way as the bottom one, and it was driving me nuts. And I even tried putting a tad bit of glue there, and it still would not stay. So finally, I just trimmed it. And so then I had to trim the bottom one too, which is perfectly fine. I love how that turned out.
And so I also had one that said season greeting, so I was able to do the same thing, and so I was able to get 2 more cards done. Next is card 8, and this time the gold foil is going to be as big as the card, so it's going to be 5.5 by 4.25. And again, just use my ATG gun, gluing or taping all 4 sides, and then I kind of do a diagonal down the center so it all sticks well. And now I'm kind of making it stand so that it all lines up just right. It's like one of the easiest ways I have to make sure that cards or paper, lines up right. And then I'm just using this tool to help kind of like varnish and make sure it's all stuck well. And now I got some scrapbook paper, and instead of having it with a 1/8 border, I'm actually doing a 1/16 border. So I made it, instead of a 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card, I made it, 1/8 of an inch smaller. So let me think. That will make it 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So it has a 1/16 border. It'll be thinner. It just needed that little bit of gold. And then I found a sticker from the sticker book that I had, and it said Merry Christmas, and I really liked that, and I wanted to have some to pop up, so I am using some foam tape behind it, and so I'm just kind of measuring to see like how much foam I need. And then I'm just going to cut like inside of where I drew on the foam. And now I'm going to add some of the art glitter glue on there, so will stick well, lining up just right. And since it was an odd shape, that's why I made sure that there's foam all around it so that it would stay even. There we go. That's the sticker book that I got it from. And there's it was a clear sticker, so I actually put it onto white cardstock. And I thought I was recording. Apparently I didn't, but it was a clear sticker, so I had to put it on white cardstock, and I like kind of fussy cut around it, and then I also placed it onto gold foil and fussy cut it again. So that's why I was showing that. And then I also fussy cut some of the poinsettias and holly berries from one of the scrapbook pages. And I'm gluing, and it just happened to be perfect because it already was like on the corner of the page. So I add the poinsettias that I fussy cut out, and now I'm going to add that onto the scrapbook paper, but not on the foil. And now I think it's safe to start putting the Merry Christmas on there. So it is quite sticky, but I always put extra glue on it just in case, because I'm afraid of it coming off during the shipping while it gets delivered. And then I'm going to use my paper puncher to punch little holes out. And I was showing like the different sizes. Just a regular one is a little bit bigger than my crocodile is a little bit smaller. And so I used both to get a different size because I needed some circles. And I do this all the time with my hole punches. You think that it would be garbage, but I do it all the time to get just the right size circles for just a little bit of details instead of using sequins or enamel dots. And it's cheap, and it's a way to use up your scraps. And it just needed that little bit extra gold on there. Next is card 9 and 10, and I have 2 of these Peace on Earth stickers. And so I'm going to use strips that are 4 and 1 by 1/4. And so 2 are from the poinsettia paper and one's with the berries. And so I'm going to kind of do a pattern of the 2. And I thought the colors went well. It like matched up perfect with that sticker that said Peace on Earth. This is a very simple layout. Everything worked out just right. And so yeah, I think this is when I started getting sick of using my tape, so I started just using my art glitter glue on everything. Either one is fine. But yes, I just did 4 strips that are 4 by 1 1/4 and just line up just right to have a little bit of a border, white border. Here's first, second, third, now the fourth. Everything's lining up just right. I also could have just used the same paper instead of using 2 different papers, but I was starting to use up scraps. I love it when I start getting scraps because I feel like I can find more ideas how to use them than a whole sheet. And then I also had these little like star on the stickers with the golden. It had a, you know, the white border. Normally I don't like that, but since the Peace on Earth had a white border, they actually worked out just right. So I did doing 2 on the top right and 2 on the bottom left. And I had enough to do another one, so it worked out perfect. So everything has a white border. So there's the first one and there's the second one. So 2 more cards knocked down. Next is card 11 and 12. This is my favorite paper. So first I'm going to start off, this is going to be the main part of the card. So I'm doing it the same size, where it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I wanted some more of this wood grain paper, and it's going to be towards the bottom. So I'm going to do it 2 inches high, and then of course 5 1/2 long. And then I wanted a green strip, so I'm just, instead of using it by hand, I'm also using my trimmer to cut them out. It's a lot easier. So it's perfectly straight. And then I'm going to use my favorite VersaFine ink to do my stamping. It's going to be one of Tim Holtz Season Grading that I got. That comes with the stencil. I really like this font. And then I'm just kind of adjusting it. It's going to be towards like the bottom left of the card, the saying is. So I'm just kind of adjusting my magnets to make sure it sticks well. And also when I'm using this plat to stamp, I tend to, where I'm stamping, I do, instead of doing it right up to the top left corner, I tend to do it a little bit down. I've noticed that sometimes it's hard to press the stamp on all the way, but if it's a little bit further down, it presses pretty good. And got that all cleaned up. And then I'm going to use some black soot and distress all the edges. Since I use black ink, I kind of make it all tie together and look a little bit more rustic looking. And since I did that, I'm going to do it on the main part of the card as well. I don't do it on the bottom because it's going to be covered up with the piece that I just stamped on. And then since I distressed everything else, I had to distress the strips as well. But I didn't have it cut down to what size yet. So I'm going to get the trimmer out again, just make a straight line, and then making it 5 1/2 inches long, as long as the card. So now I can distress the 2 ends as well. And now it's time to start gluing it down. Again, I want it just right, so that's why I prop it up and have it lay on the table to make sure that it lines up just right. And now I'm going to do the strip on top of it. And there was just a sliver hanging out, so I trimmed that off, and then I had to re-ink it so it all match up. And then I have this Santa face that I liked, that I needed to use up, and it's a sticker as well. But there's that white border around it, and I don't want that, so I'm going to fussy cut it. And now do a little bit of distress around it. Granted, the black ink doesn't stick on it so well because it kind of has like a waxy feel to it. It's not a matte sticker. So I'm just lightly distressing it, but luckily because of that, I can kind of, if I mess up or if there's too much ink on it, I can kind of rub it off really quick before it dries. And again, I need more cheesecloth, so I'm just using a little piece and I'm going to lay the Santa on top of it. And so again, I'm using our glitter glue because it'll stick and it won't show. And now removing the back of the sticker, and yet I still always add more art glitter glue. I want to make sure that it sticks well, especially for being on a texture like that with a cheesecloth. So the glue will go through the cheesecloth onto the card as well. And just placing it just right. I absolutely love how that turned out. And then again, I needed a little something, so I'm using the smaller side to punch some smaller hole or circles out. And then I press that. They tend to have a curve to it when you punch them out with the crocodile, so I just kind of flatten it with my nail, and I'm just gonna glue them down. And I have this little tool that it's like a pencil, and it's for gluing like gems and stuff. It helps like pick it up instead of with your hand because of how tiny they are. It makes it a lot easier, and it sticks they stick to it pretty well. And you can always sharpen it to make it finer for smaller pieces, but I kind of like it just the way it is. And now just gluing them all over the place. And making sure that the gold part of the foil is facing up instead of gluing it upside down. And just kind of pressing them in there, and any extra glue will stick onto my finger and comes right off, and then whatever else is there dries clear. And now I wanted to trim the extra cheesecloth off so it won't hang off of the card. And now I can glue it onto the card now that I have that done. I could have done this earlier too, but I wanted to make sure I had it the way I wanted to before gluing on the card so that the card won't be wasted. And again, I'm gluing them by holding them up to line up just right, and now pressing it down, and then I'm going to use my tool to kind of like varnish and make sure that it's all stuck really well. And there's the end of that one. And so I made 2 of them because I had 2 of the stickers, Santa stickers. They're so cute. I love how that turned out. Next is card 13, and I was looking through the peppermint sticker book, and I saw on the top left that sticker right there, that Merry Christmas. It fit perfect inside of this die cut, scallop die cut. So I put it through my Sizzix, my die cut, with the gold foil, and I tried adding the sticker, and of course it didn't stick center right, but luckily I was able to get it off and fix it. And so I'm trying to see where it's gonna look on the card, and I already had the foil. I'm doing the layers again, just like the other ones. I'm doing the card scrapbook, sorry, I keep saying cardstock, scrapbook onto the gold foil, and then the gold foil onto the card. And I'm just kind of like pressing it down, varnishing to make sure it all sticks well with the glue instead of the ATG gun. And it's the same measurements again. This time I made it as big as the card. So the gold foil is the same as the card, which is 5.5 by 4.25. And then the scrapbook paper is a quarter smaller, so it is 5.25 by 4. And then I was debating between doing a straight line or diagonal line. And I'm going to go with the straight line. So I'm going to make the gold foil 1 3/4 by 5.5, and then the scrapbook paper 1.5 by 5.25. So it'll have the same border as the rest of the card as well. And again, just using the art glitter glue to glue it all down. I like doing the scrapbook paper on top of the foil and then the foil onto the card. Either way is fine, whichever way you prefer. But yeah, just trying to get the extra glue off of the foil because that's more obvious on the foil. But yeah, I'm just going to have it centered there and then have the saying a little bit to the left. And then I fussy cut out more of the extra paper with the berries. And so I'm going to have that kind of more on the top left. And again, just using my glitter glue to make sure all those little pieces are stuck completely down and not get snagged. And I did not glue the strip down first because I want to have the berries, the hollies behind it. So I'm just kind of lining it up so I know where to glue the berries on the bottom. And then this one a little bit to the right underneath it. Although one of the leaves I'm going to have on top of the strip. So I didn't press that part down first. Now I'm going to glue the strip down really quick. And then have that little leaf on top of it. And then I'm making sure that the gold foil is pressed down too. And now I'm just gluing that last leaf on top. And then going to glue the saying down. And making sure that it's right side up instead of upside down. And I really like the way that this turned out. So I decided to do another one, but with a different saying. So next is card 14. And I'm going to use another one of the stickers. And so instead of circle, this one's going to be oval. And I was going through these die cuts, and this one fit pretty good. It's going to be really tight though. It's going to be really close. But it has like little holes, kind of like a little scallop again. And there's the one that I got. I'm going to use like the third to smallest one. And so I would put that through my die cut machine, and it was a little tricky to line this one up just right. I did it a little bit too far to the left, and so this sticker is actually quite sticky. It was a little hard getting it off, and so in order to get it lined up just right, I used my We Are Memory Keepers little powder to get that stickiness off or tone it down a little bit so that I could get it just right and not ruin the sticker. I normally use that for when I'm using my embossing powder when I'm stamping so that it won't stick where it doesn't need to stick. But yeah, finally I was able to line it up just right, and it had just a tad bit of stick to it, but not enough where it's going to tear. And so I just got it where I needed, centering up as good as I could because it wasn't the exact same oval shape. And then I'm going to use my glue to glue it down. So I just use one side while still holding the other half down, and now going to glue the rest of it on. So that way it's lined up just right. And then rubbing off any extra glue. There, that's much better. And now, instead of using the hollies, I'm going to use the poinsettias. I'm going to have that one lined up just right on the top left of the scrapbook paper. And then the other part is going to be kind of actually right there, kind of in the center. So that way when the strip's on it, you won't know that it was straight edge there. Because I needed some on the bottom. I didn't want that to move, so I glued half of it, and now I'm going to glue the other half. Same as I did with the sticker. And now it is time to glue down the strip. And now I can glue down the Merry Christmas sticker, and of course it fell out of my hand and got glue everywhere, but luckily, I can just rub it off. But again, I felt like it just needed something, so you can guess what I did. Yep, I punched out more circles out of scrap pieces of the gold foil and placed them all over. Well, not all over, but a little bit on the bottom left and a little bit on the right side of the sticker, the Making Spirit Bright sticker. I thought that the colors just matched perfectly. Next is card 15 and 17, and again, the same measurements with the cardstock and the foil, gluing the scrapbook paper, sorry, I said cardstock again, the scrapbook paper onto the gold foil. And now I'm going to glue the gold foil onto the card. Trying to line it up just right. And then pressing it down so that it's all stuck well. I'm going to use some of these to and from tags since I like the first ones I used so much. These ones were actually from the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. And then I was just using scrap pieces that I had laying around that just happened to have the colors that matched the reindeer tag. And so I just glued them onto scrap pieces of gold foil. I didn't really measure it per se. I just used up what I had. And same with the other piece with the stripes. You can see that the gold foil is a little bit thinner around it because I didn't really measure it. I just, oh, that looks good, and just used it. Which the measurement doesn't really matter because I was just using up what I had. And just sliding that under where the card is going to be. I wanted those down first. And now I'm going to glue the tag on top. I was checking time to make sure it wasn't time to pick up my son from school yet. And then it came with this gold string, which I thought was perfect, because all tags, they need a topper, they need something. And then I'm going to glue all that down. And then I end up adjusting the string so that way I could get 2 tags out of it instead of just one, because it's going to be quite short, because I don't want it sticking off of the card. And so I end up making 3 of them, just to so 3 more cards done and out of the way. Now it is time for card 18 and 19. I love doing this. I do this almost every year. I needed 4 pieces that was 2 5/8 by 2. And I do it just by using scrap pieces of 2 different patterns. You could use all 4 or all the same, whichever way you like. But I really liked using these 2 scrapbook papers designs together. I thought they looked really good together. So I'm just gluing them down and just trying to center them up just right, so that they all have the same border, the white border, that is. And there's the last piece. And then I had this sticker, and this "'Tis the season to drink coffee" that was clear, so I just put on white cardstock. made a fishtail and called it good. It was that easy. And then next is card 20 and 21. Again, needed the gold foil. So gluing that down first. And this one's going to have the, white border around it. So it's 5 1/4 by 4. And then the same as the scrapbook paper, it's 1/4 of an inch smaller. I love this plaid paper. And I kind of missed a corner there, so I was just fixing that. This time I want to have a strip going through diagonally. So I got another, I think this was the same measurement. I think it was 1 1/2 was the scrapbook paper, and then the gold foil. What is it, like 1 3/4? Yeah. And I don't know how long it is because I still don't know what angle per se. But I'm just adding some glue in the back so when I glue it down. But I wanted it on white cardstock as well, so it'll be the same as the rest of the card. And now I'm trying to see what kind of angle I want it at and how high and how far down I want it. I think I want it just about there. I did the same thing again with another sticker with the same die cut as the last one. And so I'm just going to kind of draw the bottom line with a pencil where I want that strip to be. And just adding some glue in the back. And now I'm just going to go just over where that pencil line was, so it won't show. I'm just wiping off the extra glue, trying to make sure that sticks well. I like where this is going. Just letting it dry first and then cutting off the excess. And then I took Tim Holtz foliage and just punched out a bunch, all of them, on the scrapbook paper with the sleds because I like the colors that was going on. And being such fine leaves, you don't really even know that there was wooden sleighs on it. And so yeah, I just kind of like tore them and took whatever leaves I needed because I wanted a lot of foliage all the way around it. So I glued all them down. I didn't think that was exciting to show. And now I'm going to glue the sticker down, the Merry Christmas saying. And then as you can see on the left, I have a bunch of gold foil circles punched out, ready to go. And so I'm just going to kind of scatter them around. I got the 2 different sizes from my crocodile. And just kind of placing them down where I think they'll look best. And again, just going to use my little pencil, pick them up and do a little dab of glue and place them all down. It's amazing how big of a difference little circles can make on a card. Or any project, really. That one accidentally flipped on me when I was putting it down, but finally they're all down. Just pressing them down really good, make sure all the extra glue's off. I love how they turn out, and I used this one as well, did the same thing. So there's 2 more down. Next is card 22 on some 6x6 paper that I forgot I had, which I was originally going to use my cards for. I think it's cottage something. Cottage Christmas. So the card is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I need some gold foil that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/4. Then this green scrapbook paper, which is 4 by 5 1/4. and then more gold foil that is 5 by 3 3/4, and then the scrapbook paper that is 4 by 7/8 by 3 5/8. And so I'm going to glue this one down first onto the gold foil. Line up just right. It's going to have a thin gold border. So instead of 1/8, it's going to be 1/16 of the gold foil around it. And then going to lay that onto the a green scrapbook paper. It showed like a knitting. It's kind of hard to see because of how dark it is, but it's like a knitted sweater. And so that'll give a 1/8 of an inch border. And now gluing that onto the gold foil, which is going to be another 1/8 of an inch border, right? No, 1/16, sorry, 1/16. But see that nice border that's going around now with all them layers? I love it. And now time to glue all of them layers onto the card. And of course I didn't lay it down right, but luckily I was able to tear it off and I was able to re-glue it. And luckily I had extra cards already made because it was pretty torn up that it wasn't worth it. So I had another one ready to go. This is why it's good to pre-cut these ahead of time. And plus, instead of making 35 cards, I only end up making 30 cards. So I had the 5 extra ones to use. There we go, much better now. All lined up right. Just making sure it's all the edges are stuck. And now through the sticker book, there is this perfect clear sticker that says warmest wishes. And I thought that was perfect for the cottage on the scrapbook paper. But of course I didn't want it clear, so I just glued on stuck it onto a scrap piece of white cardstock. And then I'm going to use my Infinity die cut from Hero Arts on there. I was debating between which size, and I ended up going with the smaller one. It was just a smidget smaller than the sticker itself, and then I used the next size up with the gold foil, so it'd have a gold border around it. And then I had this scrap piece of the scallop circle, and it was a scrap piece because one part kind of went off when I was die cutting it, so it doesn't have the scallop all the way around. It was kind of a mess up, but I'm still going to use it because I'm going to lay something over it so they won't even know that there was a mess up there. So I'm gluing the sticker onto the gold foil circle and then the circle onto the scallop circle, and making sure that the mess up part is kind of on the top left because I'm going to make a little bow out of this green ribbon because it's like the same color that's going on. But yeah, I'm just doing a little strip that's like, I don't know, about 2 inches or so, and I'm gluing the 2 ends to the center in the back. And then I got a smaller piece which I'm going to have the center that will like tie the bow, and just gluing that in the back, adding more glue. Gluing the last piece on, and just kind of press and hold it for a minute so that the glue dries. This would actually work better with if you have a hot glue gun for the ribbon. It will, like our glitter glue works too, but it would dry faster with the glue gun. And so now I'm going to glue the saying down, and then I'm going to have that on the top left to cover up the mess up. And I think that looks so darling. And of course, I needed more circles. I needed little gold dots around the place. So I just used that little scrap piece from the circle that I die cutted and punched out more circles with my crocodile. And I used the smaller hole this time on this one because I just needed little circles. The other side seemed too big. But yeah, just a little bit around it. And that made a huge difference. So there's another card out of that's done. Next is card 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. I really liked how this turned out. It ended up being quite easy, and I was able to make 5 of them. So again, I'm just doing the same measurements. I'm doing the gold foil first, pressing it down really good. And then the scrapbook paper that I'm using, I'm pretty much using scraps. I'm doing the green plaid on the top, and I'm doing the sled, the paper with the sleds. That was like 2 inches thick that I'm going to do on top, or on the bottom, sorry. And then the plaid on top, and then I have scraps of the music note that I'm going to do in the center. So I didn't have to have like an exact measurement because I can adjust the piece with the music note how far up or how far down I wanted it. But of course that needed some gold foil on it as well. So I glued that on the gold foil, and now I'm going to glue that down in between the 2 other scrapbook papers. So you see I'm adjusting it just the way I want it. I didn't like the bottom of the sleds hanging out, so that's why I covered that part that's like halfway cut off. And then I was going to use this to and from tag. I didn't want that gold square, and so I'm taking the foam off from behind. But since everything else had a gold foil, that one needed some gold foil too. So I realized I accidentally glued this on backwards, but that's okay. I'm going to fix it. But again, this one needed gold foil as well. So I used my infinity die and got the perfect circle to give some gold border around it. Making sure it's all stuck well, make sure no glue's coming out. And then I'm going to do it kind of towards the left side of where the music note is, the strip. I liked it to the side. I thought it looked better than having it in the center. And it already had that little orange gem in the center, which was perfect. Although I think one of them didn't have one, but I was able to find one in my little gems, and it worked out perfect. Oh, and then I did the same thing as I did with like the first one. I added scraps on the top and bottom so that it all lines up just right. And I used cardstock or scrap craft paper. And now I'm going to fix my mistake, and I'm just going to cut the front of the card off and glue it right on top of another one. That happened. So many card makers do that mistake, and it's really easy to fix. Just cut it off and add it on top of another one, so that way it won't go to waste. There. Now it's perfect. And next, I really wanted to use some of this fabric. And I wanted to make sure it was all the way around. I wanted to do a messy sewing job. I purposely did that messy. I wanted that distressed kind of look. And now I'm just cutting off the pieces of thread that are hanging off. And then I kind of wish that I did this on a separate piece of paper, or white cardstock, and then glued it onto the card, because now all that messy stitching is inside of the card. But I'm just going to cut off the extra pieces of the fabric with my big scissors. because I was afraid I wanted it a little bit bigger than my card because I didn't want it to move as I was sewing it. I tried using this die cut with this red and it didn't work well. It like all tore apart, so I'm trying again. And this time, because last time I didn't tape it down, I think, and it moved when I was putting it through the machine, and I think that's why it ended up cutting funny. But this time it worked. I still had to be careful because how delicate it was. There's a little pieces that didn't quite cut all the way through, and if I pulled, it would unthread the fabric. See, like right there, that one kind of messed up. But luckily, because of my first mistake, I was able to find one piece that still works. So that was one of the pieces of the snowflake petals, or whatever you want to call it. It's not a petal. One piece of the snowflake from the first mistake, and add it on there, and you won't even know because I'm gonna have a little saying that says "Let us know" right in the center, so it won't even be seen. But yeah, I kind of laid it down just where I wanted it, and just doing little dots of glue onto the fabric to lay all the pieces down. And here I'm fixing my little mistake, gluing that piece down. It was a little challenging with the fabric because there's certain parts that would like curl up and stuff on me. And it does take a second longer to stick than paper does. But I made it work, and I love how this looks so far. And then I saw the clear sticker that says "Let it snow." That was red as well, and a part of it kept sticking on the bottom, which started tearing my sticker. It kind of like cut into the, I think it was the O that it kind of did cut into, or tore, sorry. And I was debating how I wanted to lay it down, and I wanted it all in one strip instead of, say, having the "let it" on top of the word "snow," because I want it all in one line. So I'm cutting that in half right now and placing down the "let it" and now the "snow" on the side of it. So it's all one straight line now. I'm trying to do it even. I could have used a ruler. That would have helped. But good enough. Just pressing it down good, and then I'm going to use my mini trimmer and make straight lines. Cut it out straight as I can. So I start off with the bottom, and then on the right side, and then making sure that the left side's straight, and then I'll cut the top, the extra piece off the top. And then I kind of snipped off just a teeny weeny bit of the corners to kind of make it slightly round instead of being so harsh and straight. And then going to glue that across from it. There's a tiny bit of fabric that wasn't stuck on well, and some little pieces coming off that need to be trimmed. Much better. And then just going to glue that right in the center like that. And so the piece that came off of the snowflake won't even know. But it seemed like it needed some dimension, so I'm using the foam, and I just used my nail to crease where I wanted to cut, so I knew how thick it was, how big of a piece I needed. And then it sticks really good, so I actually didn't add glue on that one, or on that side of the foam. And now on the non-sticky part of the foam, I'm adding glue to add onto the fabric. And now perfect, look how cute that is. I absolutely love it. So I end up making another one because I found another sticker that said "Let it snow." But now I still have to fix the inside of the card. So I just got a scrap piece of a card, of the cardstock, that was the same size, 5.5 by 4.25, and I'm going to glue it on top of it. Another thing I could have done was just cut it off of that card and glued it on top of another card. I think that probably would have been better. So that way when you fold the card shut, it wouldn't be so tight because of having that glued inside. But it worked. Either way, it works. And finally, the last card, the 30th card. I'm going to use some scrapbook paper that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and then some gold foil that is 5 1/4 by 4, because I want there to be a fine gold, border around the scrapbook paper, as you can see right there. And then I'm going to use the normal, what is it? 1/8 of an inch border around, white border around the gold foil. So you can see the white is a little bit thicker than the gold. And I'm pressing that down good. And then I'm going to use this little Santa sticker that I got from Michaels, which is so cute. Sorry, I got glue all over my finger. And then I'm going to have him around the bottom left corner. So I'm going to put him, it's like somewhat see-through. So I put it on the thick cardstock, white cardstock, and fussy cut him out exactly, because it already had a white border. And so I'm doing did the same width around it. And then I'm going to use this clear sticker from the sticker book for my saying on my card, this Merry Christmas, which worked perfectly. And being clear, I wanted it to be on the white cardstock, same that I just used for the Santa. And then I'm going to use this decorative oval die again. And I'm also going to use it on the gold foil because that needed a gold border as well. And so the one that I used on right here that I'm gluing gave all those tiny circles, dots inside of it. And then the gold foil has like tiny scallops. And I liked the way those two looked together. Made it look more kind of fancy in a way. Gave a lot of detail, but like in a simple way. And now I'm using scrap pieces of scrapbook paper with more of Tim Holtz dies. I did those 3 dies on gold and on the scrapbook paper. And I'm going to do those around the Merry Christmas. But I want to have some foam behind it so it pops out. So I'm kind of using a pencil to kind of get a rough idea where to cut it out. Just using a scrap piece. Doesn't have to be perfect. And those little pieces that I just snipped off, I'm going to add on the back of it as well. Putting the sticker part down. And that's good enough. It's got enough support now. But I'm not gluing it down yet because I want to have the leaves around it, the gold and the ones that I did from the scrapbook paper with the tiny like holly and berries, And so yeah, I'm just kind of making like a swerve look to make it look like it's going around the oval. And I liked having the gold ones with the gold foil behind the scrapbook one because it made it like stand out more and pop out more. So I just kept fiddling with it and tearing them off and making it just right. And I used washi tape to put them where I wanted it to until I was happy. And then once I was happy where they were all at, I added art glitter glue on all the little leaves and everything because I wanted to all stick down really good. And then kind of in the center, but like more towards the top. Like so. And I love where this is going, but as you know, I needed more dots. So again, I'm just using that scrap piece of gold foil that I used to cut out that circle or that oval. And I think I'm using the tiny, yeah, I'm using the smaller one this time. Just punching a bunch of them out. And then I'm going to press them down with my nail to flatten them out. And then again, just using my little tool and my art glitter glue and just going to kind of place them all over till it looks just right. Off camera, I already kind of got how many I wanted and where I wanted them. And so now I'm just picking them up and adding the glue. Alright, now I think they're finally all there. Just pressing them down, make sure they're all stuck really good and all the extra glue's off so it won't show. And then I wanted a little bow on the top, so I thought instead of green I would do a red bow this time. And then I had these tiny little gold bells which I was like dying to use, and so I thought I would sew 2 of them onto the red bow that I made out of the ribbon. So I found some old red thread that I had that was good enough. It wasn't the exact same red, but it was very close. And so just tying a little knot at the end, and then I'm putting it right through the bells together. And then I'm going to see right there, I got one, and now it's time for the second one. Here we go. And now I'm going to sew them on the bottom of the little bow right there in the center. Sorry, it's not perfectly in camera because I had to see what I was doing so I wouldn't stab myself with the needle. But I'm just, nothing fancy. I'm just doing some, loops over and over until it's stuck on there pretty good. So I know that's on there tight. And then cutting off the extra thread. Just kind of fiddling with it, trying to adjust it just right. I love those little bells. And then again, this would be great if you had hot glue gun ready to go. I do have one, but I didn't want to get it out. I was having the hardest time getting it to stick. So I actually used some of my double-sided tape. And that was the other reason why I didn't use it anymore, because I ran out. And instead of putting a new roll on, I just went right off from the roll. And that actually worked pretty good too, to stick on there. And so yeah, I'm just doing on the top left corner. That made a huge difference, adding that on. It added a lot of character. But yeah, I hope you like it. I absolutely loved it. And if you made it all the way through, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some inspiration and some ideas. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. And I will talk to you later. Bye.